Hi, today I want to take you through how I start on a new track. I'm guessing this will have to be a multi-part series, as I think it's going to be a bit too long if I'm going from scratch to a finished draft. But yeah, this is how I will generally go about it. Okay, so we have a blank screen open here in Ableton Live. I generally just start out with a kick, just gonna pick some sort of kick here, a one-shot kick. Let's see what we have. Yeah, we can have this one. I'll drag this down to this window over here, and then that will make it add it to a simpler. Then I'm just gonna go and make a new MIDI clip here by marking this area and hitting Command Shift M. Gonna drag it out to 4 bars and just gonna add a regular 4 to the floor kick and drag the volume down here a bit as well. Okay. I'm feeling a bit lazy today, so I'm just gonna use some clap loops and some hi-hat loops. Could obviously program them from scratch as well, but for now I'm just gonna pick something here. I like this one. Yeah, this works. Drag this in here, reduce the volume a bit. I'm also just gonna label this clap. If you see these 5 boxes over here saying minus infinity, those are my send tracks, the ones you see down here. And on the first one I have a drum reverb, Valhalla vintage verb, and I have another reverb on the synth verb. I have a drum delay, a tape delay, and something I just called a gigaverb, which is a pretty huge reverb I sometimes use for synths. I don't use it all the time, but it's the Valhalla Supermassive. So instead of adding a reverb to or a delay to every single track, I'm just gonna send this clap to the drum reverb. I'm not too concerned about doing this correct at this point. I'm just getting something started here, so I can always come back and adjust this when I do the mix. By the way, this is some sort of sample pack I got off a guy on YouTube who I think is called Lotus something. Lotus Academy, is that what it's called? Yeah, it's pretty good. Check him out. I can link to the pack or his stuff in the description below. Whoa, way too loud. Just gonna drag it down over. Don't be afraid to use loops. I mean, you can always make these loops your own by adding effects, chopping them off, that kind of stuff. Yeah, shake a loop as well. I say this because I know I've been a bit concerned with using loops and presets in the past, but to be honest, no one cares when they listen to your music. A bit of reverb here as well. Shaker's a bit loud. Okay, and at this point I'm just making I'm okay with making a 4-bar loop. I try not to stay too long in this 4-bar loop format, but for just getting the ideas down, I work this way. You could obviously also work in the session view of Ableton Live, but I personally never really liked that, to be honest. So that's why I generally work in here instead. Gotta have some coffee. Okay, Maybe some toms as well. Yeah, that works. Okay, so we have a nice, decent foundation here. I'm gonna try and make some chords now. I'm just gonna, I kind of like to have these color labeled so that I can see pretty easy what it is. I generally like to have I think I have my clap screen usually. Assign track color to clips, and my percussion is generally yellow, I think. I'm gonna assign track color to clips here as well. And this toms, it's sort of a bassy sound, and most of my bass stuff is red. So, and I'm gonna, what was this again? That's the hats. Gonna label on hats, gonna label this shaker, gonna label this toms. Okay, I'm gonna add some chords now, and I could obviously just program the chords in, but I'm actually gonna do something a bit different. But first I'm gonna find a chord sound. I'm gonna use Repro 5 by Yuhi, and I'm gonna find a sort of a pad sound here. What do we have? Yeah, I don't want this steppy thing. This could work. Diva Beauty Pad. Yeah, let's try that one. I'm gonna make a very short chord sequence here. At this point I'm actually gonna, I could play them in. I'm not brilliant at music theory, but I can't manage to find my way around the keyboard in a way. But I'm just gonna, for this sake, I'm gonna use the scale function. I'm gonna choose A minor. And what this does is, the blue things over here are the notes that are within the scale. And if you hit this scale button here as well, it will even limit the piano roll to only be the notes in the scale. Just gonna drag these out a bit. What is the A minor scale? It's, yeah, you can do it like this. Actually gonna drag this out to full 4 bars, and I'm actually gonna duplicate this loop. I can actually just drag it out here, as long as its loop is activated on all the clips and the correct area of the clip is marked. You can just drag them out like this. And that is 8 bars. Hit Command L to loop the whole thing. Duplicate this clip down here in the pad clip by hitting the duplicate button over here. And play around with. Oops. Didn't intend to do that. Okay, and to get some movement here, I'm actually gonna group all of these percussion tracks, including clap. I'll call it perk. Then I'm gonna take an audio effect, namely the vocoder. Where is the vocoder? There it is. and add that to the percussion track. And over here you have, it's currently set to noise, which makes it sound like this. But if you set this, the input, the carrier on this track to external, and you choose the repro 5 thing we just added down here, it will take the audio from here and feed it into the vocoder, and it will sound like this. Which makes it will then take the rhythm from the percussion tracks and play it back with the vocoder sound. It's a horrible explanation, but I think you will hear what I mean. I have to experiment with the depth setting here. And the other settings as well. Just be a bit careful when you do it, because it can get really loud. So especially if you're using headphones, be a bit careful. And the beauty now is if you add a delay after this or something, I'm actually going to add two things. I'm going to add this chorus, which I kind of like. It reminds me of my Juno, which I have over here. And I'm going to add an echo. Right, I'm gonna solo this now. I'm gonna add another track, an audio track, by hitting Command T. And I'm gonna call this chord stabs. I'm gonna remove this here. I'm gonna add this, change my mind. I'm gonna add this to the chord stab here, because then I can actually adjust it later. I'm just gonna record and dry now. Let's see how that works. The reason I let it run through twice now was it was really quiet in the beginning, so that's why. Alright, stop it, hit Command Z to get rid of this little bit over here. Now we have a chord. So if we go up here and just disable the vocoder now, it'll play back the percussion. And you can play around with this. I mean, this is set to beats now, the warp mode. The thing with warp mode is you can actually get it to be a bit more percussive. If you set it to beats, you can actually get it to be a bit more percussive. I'm gonna set it to forward transient. I don't really know why, but I find that in general works well that way. I think this is a bit low. I think I'm gonna add a bit of gain to this. Drag it down over here instead. set this to +6. Alright, we have a bit of a foundation here now. Hi, this is Future Maris. This video that you've been watching now ended up being quite long, so I think I'm gonna call it a day for now and continue the exploration of this track in a future video. So when that one's ready, I'll be linking to it down in the description. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.